Chapter 11. Too much, auntie, really? I said. But Neelam anyway added 3 more laddus to my already crowded plate of snacks. Technically, Saurabh and Prerna's roka was supposed to be a small affair. People were only meeting for tea, of course. A single tea session in a Punjabi household often has more calories than the daily recommended calorie intake for a normal sized adult. On my plate were chole bhature, pav bhaji, hakka noodles, dahi bhalla, gulab jamun, samosa, and now 3 laddus. Saurav's parents had arrived in the morning. They loved food too. They fall in love with the malhotras the moment they were served kaju katli, even before they entered the house. The well-rounded parents sat with their well-rounded son as they awaited their well-rounded bahu. Okay, I'm being a bit mean here, but at least well-rounded sounds better than obese or fat. It was the first time I had gone to Prerna's house, the impressive 3-story bungalow in New Friends Colony. The ground floor had been emptied out to make sitting arrangements on the floor. Over 60 guests filled the hall. Little Punjabi kids crisscrossed the living room, spilling cold drinks along the way. Prerna wore a green lehenga with elaborate golden embroidery on it. Saurabh wore a cream-colored sherwani and turban. With his smooth, clean-shaved face, he looked like those overgrown kids in a children's traditional wear commercial. The roka ceremony started with a small prayer conducted by a priest. After that, Saurav's parents gave Prerna a pair of gold bangles as shagun or an auspicious gift. Both sides exchanged insane amount of mithai, some in baskets so huge you could carry an adult in it. Rameshji, you have won our hearts with the Khatirdari and hospitality, said Pyarelal Maheshwari, Saurav's father. Ramesh folded his hands. He stood in the adequately timid posture expected from the girl's father. Now she's yours, he said. Arey, not yet, Rameshji, but let us fix a date fast. What do you say, Saurav beta? Said Roshni, Saurav's mother. Saurav and Prerna looked at each other. Saurav was ready to get married in the next 1 hour, but Prerna wanted a bit more time. Her startup still needed attention. She said she wanted to enjoy planning her wedding as well. Why not do both? Run the company and plan the wedding at the same time? Saurav said. Let's fix the engagement at least. Ramesh said. Before Prerna could respond, a tall, fit man in his late 30s entered the room carrying a guitar. He held the hand of an elderly lady. Aditya Chachu, finally, where were you? Prerna said, looking up at her handsome 6-foot uncle who looked younger than his age. Had to bring Maji down. Anyway, I have a special song for you, Aditya said. Prerna's grandmother, silver-haired Nirmala Malhotra or Maji, slowly walked across the room. She wore a white silk salwar kameez and 2 heavy gold necklaces. She sat on a chair right behind the couple of the moment. Prerna and Saurav touched her feet. Munda sona hai, sehat hai, Maji said. The boy is good looking and healthy. For Punjabis, fat is sehat or health. Thank you, Maji, said Saurav, beaming. Where's Anjali? Prerna said. I told her to change. She wanted to come down in shirt and jeans. Is this the way a girl dresses at a function like this? Maji said. At that moment, Anjali entered the room in a yellow kurte with gold embroidery and a pair of black tights. She was still undressed compared to the rest of the guests. Saurav saw me staring at Anjali and frowned. Maji was handed a plate with her share of 1,000 calories on it. I will feed her, Bindu said, pulling up a chair next to her mother. She had dressed in a red and gold sari. Her hair, obviously styled in a parlor, a departure from her otherwise stiff curls. She had also given up her spectacles for the evening. As Maji ate her second samosa, she began to cry. She spoke loudly in Punjabi, addressing everyone. If Ramesh's daddy was here, he would be so happy. किन्ने खुश होंदे सी. She sat between sobs. Ramesh, Bindu and Neelam nodded solemnly. Ramesh's daddy had seen such tough times. He never stayed around to see any of this, Maji said. She spread her hands to indicate the expense of the living room and the array of gifts on the floor. Maji should have stopped her speech right here while on a high note. She didn't. I was 1 year old when my parents had to move from Lahore to Amritsar. They hid me in a basket of apples like this one. She pointed to one of the fruit baskets. She continued, I was only 18 when I married Ramesh Teddy. He was just a simple scooter mechanic. Every guest at the party had tuned in to Maji. Look at my Ramesh. When Ramesh's daddy passed away, he raised this entire family. He used to work in the garage, borrowed money to open a small scooter dealership. Ramesh reached behind Maji and pressed her shoulder. She grabbed his wrist. Beta, God should give a child like you to everyone and a bahu like Neelam. She raised Aditya, Geetu and Bindu better than I could. Never raised elbows like those evil TV serials bahus when Ramesh did things for his family. Neelam seemed happily surprised at the unexpected praise from her mother-in-law. Scooter dealership to Maruti dealership to Porsche dealership. It's no joke. Not Porsche, Maji, Porsche cars. Porsche, Ramesh said. Maji ignored her elder son and went on. From an 80-yard plot house in Amritsar to this palace in Delhi. Mrs. Goyal was telling me she checked on magic bricks. A kothi like this would cost 30 crores. Maji, please. Ramesh whispered, hoping his mother would curb her enthusiasm a little. She ignored him. By God's grace, my son has achieved so much, and today, such a beautiful day. Thank you, Vaheguru. All of Prerna's family members teared up a little. I think Saurabh did too. The guest clapped, not only out of genuine appreciation for Maji's speech, but perhaps also to tell her to end it. The evening continued with everyone taking turns to bless the couple and stuffing their mouths with something sweet. Finally, the mithai feeding became too much even for Saurabh. Enough, Bindu Bua, Saurabh said, mouthful of besan laddu. Nothing is enough today. You are our son from today, Bindu said. I think Saurabh's parents shifted a little in their seats at this appropriation. Aditya strummed his guitar to get everyone's attention. Hello everyone, Aditya said in his husky voice. I am Adi, Prerna's chachu. I am the other brother, the one who did not do much for his family like his amazing brother Ramesh. Prerna, Anjali and Ajay broke into awe to negate his comment. Aditya smiled and flung back his curly hair as he took position to play his guitar. To my little niece, he said, who makes us so proud. He sang a Hindi song, originally about brothers and sisters, but replaced sister with niece in the lyrics. फूलों का तारों का सबका कहना है, 1000 में मेरी भतीजी है. The rest of the evening involved alcohol, a local Punjabi DJ, more food and even more food. Saurabh went mental on the dance floor. His frantic moves probably caused his would-be in-laws to have second thoughts about their damad. I had to accompany him on the dance floor, of course, along with a dozen other Punjabi uncles and aunts. We did an intense bhangra. Later, I saw Anjali leaning against the wall and went up to her. You're not dancing? I said. I would, but my ankle is sprained. Oh, what happened? Come on, don't fuss over me. I'm not used to it. No, seriously, what happened? Tracking trip, twisted it while descending. You track? I'm not just a boring desk job journalist. I love nature. Tracking is my passion. Cool. Where did you track? Just came back from Manali. Later this year, I might do the Everest base camp. You will climb Everest? I said, eyes wide. Just the base camp, Anjali said and laughed. It's where Everest trackers start their journey. It's still impressive, I said. I have climbed since I was little. My stepdad used to take me in his better moods. I continued even in boarding school. Oh, I said. Are your parents here? No, they could not come for this from Seattle. They will come for the wedding. Saurav had told me Anjali's mother Geetu had married a cab driver Jogi in the US. She had moved there several decades ago. They split up and Geetu married Greg Davis, an American school teacher in Seattle. Anyway, why all this boring talk? You go to the dance floor. Give your friend company, Anjali said. I smiled and walked back to the makeshift dance floor made of plastic with bright multicolored lights beneath it. The song Baby Doll started. Saurav moved his hip like Sunny Leone did in the original. Okay, stop Golu. I wanted to tell him. They could see this and still back out. Bhai, I'm so happy, he said in the middle of the song. Now I understand what you meant when you told me about love. It really is an amazing feeling. I shrugged and smiled. What, Bhai? You are not happy? Saurav said, moving his hands as he spoke to me. I'm happy for you. You should also find someone, fall in love, and get married. It's beautiful. Never going to happen, Golu. Why? How long will you keep making me meet these meaningless Tinder bhabis? I laughed and looked at Anjali again. Not her bhai, please promise me you will not search for hookups in Prerna's family. What? I said. Of course not. I saw you talk to her. I called her to dance. She's twisted her ankle. That's all we spoke about. You sure? Saurav said, and began to move again to the Sunny Leone song. Yes, and that's not the step. You have to move like a serpent. Let me show you, I said.